Where to live post COVID-19. Different elements: sunlight, incandescent light, zero Wi-Fi. We have non-GMOs, alkaline water, 80% oxygen, zero Y-gig, zero metals, near zero toxins. And the point here is living right post COVID-19 is premium to enjoying optimal health. Thank you for clicking on that link. Today we are talking about elements of life that we very most likely take for granted. Well, I did take these elements for granted till I went through and survived chronic illnesses. So the question here is, so where do you sleep? What do you drink? What do you eat? But most especially, what do you breathe? We are talking about where we live. This will determine the quality of life that we will live post COVID-19. I'm going to throw some figures around here. And over 4.5 billion people will be living in homes in posh inner cities, in mid-income and low-income neighborhoods that will make them sick from the year 2023. And it has nothing to do with them or their choices. It is what we were socialized in from birth. We have mentioned several times on this platform that there will be a mysterious disease, a new normal disease, which will be seen especially in few occurrences from 2022, and it's going to be called disease X till they give it a more suitable name. It's a mysterious disease, remember. However, we call it the radiation virus, also known as RADV23. It will be given a name by WHO in the year 2023, and this disease will become more prominent and more pronounced from the year 2025. And what are the contributing factors to this? Now, let me make this easy to grasp to the mind. In the medical parlance, there is a term called hypoxia. Okay, it is currently a dangerous symptom of the coronavirus that can cause a patient to fall unconscious or even die. And this will happen when the body tissues do not receive enough oxygen. Now, in one of our previous podcasts, the one titled "I Cannot Breathe, I Need Oxygen," it's an 8 minutes 46 seconds podcast, and it was done. It was created to mark the lives we lost to the knee on the neck syndrome. Now, in that particular podcast, we mentioned and highlighted that the new Wi-Fi, which is going to be called the Y-gig, the Y-gig happens to be the wireless channel for 5G. The Y-gig has a big and serious health consequence that billions across the world are not aware of. This is the fact that 5G and Y-gig will be operating at a frequency of 60 gigahertz, which happens to be the same frequency that the oxygen molecules begins to rotate and absorb. Okay, so at 60 gigahertz, the oxygen molecules that were meant to be breathing rotates and gets absorbed 60 billion times per second. It rotates 60 billion times per second. So when we are constant in this environment, this 60 gigahertz environment, we will become an oxygen deficient species, an oxygen deficient globe. We will suffer hypoxia, and all this without us actually realizing it. Y-gig, when rolled out, will bring a huge decline in global health. There is a term called silent hypoxia. Okay, it's a phenomenon when oxygen levels fall, but an individual feels no symptoms. or signs that something is wrong. So now, as of today, WHO will not publish this. However, silent hypoxia is an effect of COVID-19 that some doctors are noticing in patients. Silent hypoxia is a COVID-19 symptom. A good way of mitigating hypoxia is consuming a lot of water, but most especially consuming a lot of alkaline water on a regular and daily basis. The reason being that alkaline water is up to 6 times more hydrating. I'm going to take you through a journey of two scenarios, the 4G scenario and the 5G scenario, and what 4G does to us. Okay, what the current 4G does is that because the Wi-Fi frequency or Wi-Fi platform operates at the frequency of 2.4 gigahertz, this means that the water molecules, that's the water we drink, and remember that we are 70% water in our bodies, these begin to rotate and absorb at 2.4 gigahertz, which happens to be the Wi-Fi frequency. Now we need water to maintain a healthy balance. And when the water that is meant to be helping us to maintain a healthy balance begins to rotate and absorb at 2.4 billion times per second, it is a big concern. And all this happens when we are exposed at a larger period of time to Wi-Fi. Now that is Wi-Fi. So the Wi-Fi frequency is the same frequency that the water molecules rotate. Now the plot gets thicker. 5G, they're going to call this a mysterious disease and call it a virus. They will probably say it's a mutation of COVID-19. They will not declare it as a Y-gig generated illness. And the reason that is so is because we are going to be forced to take vaccines to fight against this mysterious illness. That is what 5G is going to do to us. Remember I said 5G is a frequency that operates from 60 gigahertz, the same frequency in which the oxygen molecules begins to rotate and absorb. Now I'm going to take you through a seemingly humorous situation, but there's a huge importance to this. The punctuation. What does a little missing punctuation do to us? Let's eat grandpa as compared to let's eat grandpa, or a woman without her man is nothing as compared to a woman without her man is nothing. Punctuations can potentially save lives. Now, why is all this relevant? We have all been socialized from birth that some of the denominators of life, which is success denominators, are that we study hard, we work so hard and have the ability to afford all the things that money can get us in order to live the life we all want to live. Now we've been socialized in that manner, and there's nothing wrong with this. The system is not faulty in that respect. However, there is just one little detail we seem to have missed out on. One little punctuation missing, a misnomer to success, one that can change the sentence of life, our health and wealth life. We will be taking us on a journey into this misplaced punctuation that will in itself change the direction and course of even just one person's life when we realize it. It is the one thing that can determine how well and how long we live. Let me take you through this journey. Hang in there. So this is the journey. Project 2025. Dubai, the UAE, Lagos, Nigeria, Pretoria, South Africa, and one Western Hemisphere exclusive location yet to be disclosed. What's the point? Secretly, if not openly accepted. And I say this with humility. To a large extent, we all want to live in at least a comfortable, perhaps luxurious mansion with the comfort of life afforded. And there is nothing wrong with that. To a lot of us, it is a motivation to get us out of bed and to get us to do the things that we do on a daily basis. I'm going to make an illustration here, and I illustrate this purely to make a point. So just like a whole lot of you, I'm opportune to live in a modest 6-bedroom gated security, heated swimming pool, a fountain, manicured garden, kids play area, etc. home. However, my health and that of my family could have been eternally mortgaged as a result of that lifestyle. Little wonder a few knowledgeable, a few wise, a few who have insight have built and are residing in houses outside the cities. They are residing in houses outside the congested areas, far from environmental toxic elements. Living in the inner city does massive health damage to us, no matter the type of house you live in. And I'm quite aware that there are bigger, better, more equipped state-of-the-art homes of a lot of people who are privileged. Some of them I have as friends and acquaintances. Some I have seen in the movies. And here's the point. With each development or improvement in technology and each advancement in technology comes a huge hit and compromise on our health. I am probably one of the few hundreds globally who see what I'm about to pitch as a solution to a huge health challenge. Touted as the future, it will not really be a healthy future with 5G and Y gig. And this is the reason why, or one of the reasons why, we spend the greatest number of hours, let's say for argument's sake, 13 hours a day in our homes. That your home should be the most comfortable and hugely invested part of our lives. A home is where our bodies are meant to recover. And the point here is hopefully we get at least 7 hours of sleep in the home. So with the advent and the release of 5G and Y gig and having smart homes, it is going to have a detrimental effect on our health. 5G is coming. With 5G comes Y gig. With both of them comes an attack on our oxygen intake, our oxygen levels. And with that comes more chronic illnesses. 5G changes everything. We are getting to a point where post COVID-19, WFH, which is working from home, will be the new norm, the new normal. Homeschooling will be more of a new normal also for obvious reasons. Artificial intelligence, IoT, is going to bring a huge and massive job loss from 2022. Our homes will be run off Y gig in order to enjoy the luxury technology provides. And by doing that, we need big data. So AI, IoT, they all will depend on 5G and Y gig, and of course on big data. Now, talking about big data, let me give an example of big data. Why it's extremely important to have big data. And I give a reference to the Uber driverless cars. In 2016, there was a headline, and that was when I was active in the IT telecommunication space. It was a headline that 10 million self-driving cars will be on the road by 2020. Now, today, 2020, the 18th of June, fully autonomous cars are still out of reach except in special trial programs. However, with the global deployment of 5G, this will be a huge game changer. We will have 5G all over our lives, from our beds to our cars, to our street lamps, our street lights, to our offices, shopping malls, movie centers, where else? Schools, hospitals. And the difference is that we're going to be given a self-service option. Everything will be automated. So take it from me, there's going to be weird disorders that will start sweeping our globe. Microbial infestations in the body, which are triggered by physical and environmental stress caused by high oxidative actions around our state-of-the-art homes, will be on the incline. Our microbes will start secreting formaldehyde, which, if present in the body, starts preserving our already oxygen deprived muscle tissues. And when we start developing fibers in our muscle tissues, which in any case will be extremely painful, we will be a body full of scarred, breaking down, heavily stressed tissues. Now, I say all that because I speak as a survivor. I speak as a survivor of both chronic fatigue syndrome and fibromyalgia, and I experience excruciating pain. The only way, or one of the ways to reverse these conditions, and when I say that I mean chronic fatigue syndrome and fibromyalgia, will be through detoxification. That's one way. However, how do we do that when we are spending 13 hours of our day in the same environment, causing the same root causes of these illnesses? We are in a catch-22 situation. Our wealth is actually causing our ill health, and we are not aware of this. And here's an indication here. If you wake up tired most days, then take it from me, you already have underlying conditions that will keep deteriorating, except you take drastic measures like detoxing, and you detox well. With the advent of 5G, it's going to make this worse. And what I speculate is going to be happening in the near future is that we are going to be visiting medical doctors, and we visit 10 or 15 of them, and they will not be able to find anything wrong with us. They will find nothing wrong with you. You might be labeled a psychotic. You might be told that it is in your head, that they cannot find anything wrong with you, or even worse still, with your children. And mark my word, the medical system is never going to find what is wrong with you when you have chronic fatigue syndrome and fibromyalgia symptoms. Reason because they do not know. They were not trained to deal with radiation-induced illnesses. These are radiation-induced illnesses. Yes, they might have gone through ionized radiation diseases, okay, which could be caused by nuclear explosions and all that. However, they never went through dealing with non-ionized radiation illnesses. So it's going to be new to them. And here's the thing. The fact is that with the release of 5G and WiGig, okay, and I'm getting close to my pitch now, and this pitch is for the few of us who will consider our general health and well-being post COVID-19. Okay, we know that COVID-19 is going to become an endemic. However, worse is that we know that with the rollout of 5G and its wireless platform, which is the WiGig, there's going to be a lot of commotion, a lot of chaos, a lot of confusion within the globe or across the globe. We know that the world will be blanketed with electromagnetic waves, and these are non-ionizing thermal and non-thermal radiation. The point here being that without oxygen and appropriate water, people could literally start dropping off in public places, and mostly people who have comorbidities, those who are aged, those who are weak, those who have their immunes already compromised, and those who have underlying conditions. By that I mean high blood pressure, abdominal obesity, diabetes, or any form of disease that is chronic. It could be like we living out a blockbuster Hollywood movie. I mean, seeing people just drop off for no reasons or no apparent reasons. The disasters of 5G's Y gig are real and they are far reaching. So what is here, and this is my pitch coming up here now, we are creating residential private clusters, safe havens, detox centers, homes and places of rehabilitation and living for those of us who will heed our call that there is a next wave of a more serious pandemic going to hit our globe. And I say our globe is going to be in the year 2025. It's going to be called an endemic, not just as we have the COVID-19, a pandemic. The point here is that no one plans to fail. The thing is we fail to plan. So Censuses is putting in place, as we speak right now, an audacious plan to provide at least 4 clusters of development in these specifically chosen locations. And these are so chosen because of certain factors and features that each will provide to guarantee that optimal health can be provided once we are in these places. Remember, we said we give a case point scenario of staying indoors or in the home 13 hours of the day, and that is a huge part of our day. So we have the project 2025, which is in the pipeline as I speak, and this is my pitch. This is one of our 5 moonshot projects at Censuses. All our projects are towards creating health and wealth. That is our DNA. That is part of our being. We have highlighted that the rollout globally of 5G, which will be in full sort of autopilot by 2025 globally, not just in privileged countries or privileged areas. By 2025, it's going to be a global access point to everyone, even to the poorest of the poor. Okay, and we are one of the first to take a bold step. We are boldly taking a stake out to invest in a solution that will give us as a people healing from the adverse and disastrous effects of 5G and Y gig. We are with our partners setting up exclusive Wi-Fi and Y gig free residential and other necessary services. We call them the free zones. Okay, now the chosen destinations for these 4 exclusive residential areas, or these chosen locations, are the UAE, that will be Dubai, South Africa will be, or Nigeria will be with Lagos, South Africa will be Pretoria, and we have an ultimate location. It's like an ace trump. It's an ace trump card where the creme de la creme of, it's going to be the creme de la creme of the 4 clusters. It's a location that will be the dream location for all tribe members. It's going to be a Western Hemisphere location. Now, here's the thing. Here is why we are doing this. We are fixated with achieving optimal health. Call it an obsession. We are obsessed of achieving optimal health for all of our tribe members. We are fixated in creating wealth for each one. And we understand that wealth without health is poverty. So the fundamental and basic element being health. Each of these clusters will provide us the best insulation from the disaster and the health destruction that both 5Gs and Y gig will bring to our nature or to our world. And when I talk about our world, let me decompose that. Let's talk about our homes. So we're talking about preventing us from having higher illnesses at home which will be induced by exposure to IoT, to AI, artificial intelligence, to big data, which will affect our BBBs, our blood-brain barriers. We are going to be heavily exposed more to heavy metals, to chlorine and fluorine water, and also to GMOs. Do not be fooled by the so-called GMOs. They are not organic. Okay. And so this is talking about the homes. Now, how about the bigger areas? How about the illnesses that we're going to contract when we are in the inner cities? Now, we're talking about the higher illnesses in inner cities post-COVID-19. Now, our solution, okay, what we are doing here is providing a solution, amongst other things, with COVID-19 insulation, abundant vitamin D sunshine, running tap alkaline water, 3 or 6 hole golf courses so you can walk in nature. We are looking at having hundreds of trees, horses, camels, antelopes, and essentially, when it comes to education, homeschooling up to secondary schooling. We are looking at having full integrated 360 degrees residential to business facilities. The list is endless. What I'm going to do is give another podcast on that. So what is happening now is this. Whilst our world is ignorantly sweeping to the inner cities, okay, paying top dollars for private state-of-the-art best properties, and they're quite very good properties in the inner cities. While the world is ignorantly moving into the inner cities where there's going to be a high level of chronic illnesses, we at Censuses with our partners will be on this audacious project on the 4 exclusive health resorts. We call it the health resorts, private residential sort of equestrian style homes. And it's going to be 120 units in the UAE, South Africa, Nigeria, and as I mentioned, a yet to be decided Western Hemisphere location. We are putting to full use on a daily basis, and that's the objective, to put to full use nature's healing abilities to detox our already heavily toxic bodies, which are toxic from environmental and toxic hazards currently seen in modern homes. Your cleaning products, your perfumes, your soaps. Okay, these are the things that are actually adding on and creating toxic bodies, and we don't know about this. And then the inner cities, which from 2025 will see increased mysterious illnesses surface. We are also using nature, or nature's protection abilities, to build up on our immunities. Now, here's the thing, okay? And I'm going to run up on this very soon. Here's the thing, and here's the tongue-in-cheek moment for me. No matter how hard they try, there will not be 2 of this sort of projects in the world. We are so excited about our exclusivity paradigm that we can even stretch ourselves out to give a guarantee that this project cannot be copied nor duplicated. Now, here is the reason why we are convinced. We are convinced because it is driven by a 3-year personal journey with experiences that make this project signature project. I will make a follow-up podcast later to throw more light into this 2025 project. This is just here me giving a face value overview of the project. Right now, I close on this podcast with my customary trademark sign-offs. The fact is that we are building and laying a foundation, and we have scheduled this 2025 project to be a 5-year project. Okay, so by providing the project 2025, we are writing the last chapter of a part of everyone's life, which is living right. We are writing the last chapter as the first chapter, because without optimal health, wealth is just a mirage. It's an illusion. And what we're doing is we are taking you through journeys in health and wealth. We are working on the dream. We are building our library, and we do this on a daily basis. At this point in time, we have completed on our nutrition pill on the top right there. And I call it nutrition because where we live nourishes our spirits, our soul, and our bodies. Please stay tuned and subscribe to GeeMashSpeaks at the bottom. Click on the red button and get notifications when we drop another podcast. We are doing 5 to 10 minutes multiple content podcasts. We do have a lot of content that we want to share with you, and by subscribing you will be part of that community, that tribe. And we have started the fire. We ask you to start the fire in your life, in the life of your loved ones. Send this message across and hang in there. God bless you and do have a great day. Peace. Love you.